What's up, gamers? 300 here. For those of you who don't know me, I play a Ultimate Iron Man named Seascape. I'm max, top page, and do lots of PVM. Definitely a completionist. I like to someday get 200 mil all and work on collection logs. Have all the best gear, the whole 9 yards. So I'm in the middle of buying 10 million broad arrowheads, and I kind of thought it would be a good time to just lay down my thoughts on the account, where it's been, where I'm going. The account is way too old to give a full history on. I don't know if I could even remember it all. I don't even remember when I maxed. It's been so many years. So I figured I'd just start with the last couple years and then move on to what I'm planning on doing. So beginning of 2023, I started off by getting basically the TOA collection log and combat achievements completed. I still have capes left to go, but that'll be done eventually. Who knows? There's a lot of stuff I have that's like that. So after I cleaned up my bag after that, I moved on to chambers. Did the same with chambers. Got up to around 1100 CM KC, so I still got more of those capes to go, but again, that'll be done later at some point. So that's kind of what I've been doing for the most part over the last couple of years. There's been some other grinds. I almost broke the dry streak world record for the heron pet by doing 2-tick swordfish, but it did help me get a lot of fishing XP, which isn't the worst thing ever. So where I'm at right now is basically just going through all my chambers loot and trying to pare down my bag to the point where I can do Tob. So I did do Tob a long time ago before I maxed, and I completed all the items, never got pet. Combat achievements weren't even out then, so I still need to go back and get those as well. But I ended up wiping my scythe once combat achievements did come out, and I went to Nightmare. I was death piling for the solo kill, and then late I ended up dying, which death banks all your stuff there, and then I reset the death pile without thinking, which was probably the dumbest move I've ever made on a UIM. Accounts where dumb moves tend to matter. So the result of that was I wiped pretty much my melee gear and my mage gear, which at that point wasn't much. The only problem was I had a scythe, so I did wipe my scythe. And the scythe is the only thing that I haven't gotten back since then, so that's kind of the current goal, is to pare down the bag till I can go back to Tob and regain the scythe and get pet, do a bunch of hard mode for all those kits and stuff, and get all the CAs and stuff. And I might just do the capes as well, as if you're not familiar, Tob is definitely the fastest out of the 3 raids to finish as far as capes go. So that might be fun. Tob is definitely my favorite content in the entire game, so I'm really looking forward to that. But I have a lot of stuff to get through. So one of the things in my bag is the 10 million headless arrows I made during Sepulchre, and I'm going to be continuing Sepulchre and using planks from chambers there to get extra construction XP when I loot, and then make the broad arrows. I got gems to cut there. There's lots of stuff to do at Sepulchre. I'm at about maybe 4,300 completions. It's hard to tell because the chest maxes out. The Grand Hallowed Coffin, that is, maxes out at 4,000. So I'm a little over that. Now probably got another at least 3,000 to go, so it's good to be at the halfway mark, but it's definitely one of the longest grinds I've ever attempted. The other thing that I'm going to be doing is working towards 50 mil all XP. So I decided to do that because 200 mil all is obviously an insane grind that is going to take many, many years, and it just seems completely overwhelming. But I kind of liked going for 50 mil in all skills because then I could sort of force my brain to realize that I would be a quarter of the way there no matter what the situation is. I would actually be over a quarter there because not like a lot of my skills will be past 50 mil, but kind of hard to tell where exactly you are with all the different skills. They're different rates. Some skills matter more than others. You could just use EHP for that, but I just kind of like the idea of being a quarter of the way there on every skill. So to that effect, I've got my skills menu set up to show where I'm going. So everything with the bar is basically the goal is 50 mil, and that's how far I am towards there from 1 XP, except for fire making. So that's the other thing that I'm going to be sending is I want to get 200 mil fire making. I haven't ever really wanted to get 200 mils straight away because I don't like the idea of not being able to gain XP. Like if I'm getting passive fire making XP or something, it would be wasted. But I decided that it would be cool to have at least 1 200 mil. So fire making is the one I decided because I still need Phoenix Pet as well. I have the Wintertot update has been huge for that. I have a bunch of searches already stored up, which I'm going to save for 200 mil, just so I can spam out a bunch of Phoenixes with that 200 mil rate boost. But I just recently made a 2-hand crystal axe, and I'm going to be trying out what's called Fire Facts, which is burning redwood logs while you run artifacts. And as a UIM, I can't bank those redwood logs, so I'll be chopping them 1 inventory at a time at the redwood in the farming guild, using 1.5 tick. Same thing as 1.5 tick teas, but it works on redwoods as well, as long as they're the farmed redwood. So it'll be a good test to see if it's actually better than Wintertot or not. Especially since with the advent of cranes, the craft effects, that they call it, which is blowing glass while running artifacts, is much less good, considering that I'll be getting crafting for free with construction through cranes. So if we go back to the skills menu real quick, as you can see, con and craft are 2 things that I need still. I have a bunch of bagged con XP still, not a whole lot of craft XP, other than the seaweed I have. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using the whole thing. I'll probably use all the sand I've mined so far, but not sure about the rest of the seaweed because it's going to take forever, and I don't know if I'll actually need it doing cranes. So cranes is the plan for 50 mil con and craft for the most part, other than the bagged XP. I've already heard my plans for fire making. Wood cutting, I should get most of the way there with the redwoods. Otherwise, I'll probably get there with just chopping the Bruma root in Wintertot as well to 200 mil. It's like a pretty okay ratio for wood cutting there. That leaves combat skills. So Slayer is not on my radar for a long time. The Slayer, Prayer, Attack, Defense will probably be the last ones I get to 50 mil. Unless I get 50 mil attack, for example, at Tob, we'll probably be able to manage that going for sight that'll be nice. And then herb lore, I have a ton of bagged herb lore XP, but I don't want to use it until after Tob. I'll have basically the herb stacks from Toa, plus Chambers, plus an herbivore pet grind, plus, you know, lots of other things, and then finally adding Tob on top. I'll be doing mixology, but making the potions I need as well. I don't really need mixology as much as most 200 mil oriented skillers would, because I PBM and clog and stuff. There's just a ton of herb drops from all sorts of different bosses and raids and stuff. 2k chambers, for example, or 2k CMs is like an insane amount of herbs. Toa and Tob aren't. There's quite a bit as well. So I'm not too worried about getting 200 mil herb. It'll happen eventually. I just don't want to waste my time doing mixology if I need pots anyways for PVM. And so I guess that leaves smithing, which I have a baby UIM that I'm training up to become a gargoyle alt to stack up gold ore, which I can then use to restock the shop and blast furnace. So I hope they don't nerf that by the time or before I'm ready to use that, because that would be a huge waste of time if they did, but we'll see about that. So that's kind of all the skilling goals right now. I'll also obviously get a ton of agility and fletching past 50 mil. I'm already 50 mil in both of those. To finish up these items here. And then I'll get a bunch of thieving XP as well from the artifacts. I'm basically just trying to make sure I'm either getting crystal shards for crystal keys or the crystal axe, or doing artifacts for thieving. I don't want to waste any of my time doing like knights or blackjacking or stuff like that. That only gives thieving XP when I can get it while training harder skills or working on getting shards or any of that stuff. So that's pretty much it for the skilling goals. On the clog side, I'm really into pet hunting. Pretty much my current clog goals are all pets and whatever clogs I get along the way. I try to complete a boss fully once I start it. So for example, I did Temperoth recently, and I just did the whole thing until I got pet, which was around 14,000 searches, I think, something like that. So pets I'm working on currently, I already mentioned the Phoenix. I'm working on DA pet as well, because that's one you can be death banked for. Other than that, the next pet I'll be working on is probably Tob pet when I get to Tob. So I still need the Tob pet and the dust and all the hard mode stuff from Tob. I don't know if I'll go for UK capes or not. We'll see. Might come back for that later, because that takes a long time, and I would like to work on all pets before I do the raids capes. But on the flip side, it may take me that long to get Scythe anyways, but I might be close enough. I'll just finish it off and be done with Tob on the account, which would be really cool. After I'm done with Tob, I'm basically just trying to go through all the new content that I've missed. I started Chambers, like I said, basically 8 months ago. So I've missed a lot of new content. Oh no, wait, it was a year and a half ago, I guess, because I finished Chambers basically at the end of last year. So getting my years confused here, but basically I haven't done anything since before DT2. So I still need to do Desert Treasure 2, the quest itself, and then work through those. So I'll definitely be sending a lot of Vard after Bob to get that Ultor ring, probably the best ring for UIM at the moment, especially with Scythe. And then working through all of the Varlamore content, I need to get my Quiver, Perilous Moons, trying to get all the Master Stashes done. I guess that's the other thing I'm working on currently is clues, lots and lots of clues. I recently got rank 1 elites from Sepulchre for the most part. It's just a ton of clues, which is great. And so that's pretty much it for what I'm doing right now. I'm really looking forward to getting back to Tob so that I've been real motivated to just blast through all these headless arrows and all the other supplies that I have clogging up my bag. The bag situation isn't as bad as it seems. The main issue is I have probably 10 different untradeable items in the bag that are used for various skilling methods, which when I'm done with those methods, I can just drop that stuff. Stuff like Plank Sack, Herb Sack, Hunter Rumor Kit, like all that kind of stuff. So I'll be clearing up a lot of space once I'm through with these skilling grinds. So yeah, let me know if you found this interesting. I thought some people might want to hear about what a UIM does when they're maxed and has mostly completed raids and has some lofty goals for his account. So yeah, please leave me a comment and let me know, you know, your thoughts, and if you'd like to see anything else. I mentioned that it would be very difficult to talk about the history of this account as how old it is, but I could probably try and do some sort of piece together some video that goes over the ancient days of this account. I probably should figure out when I made it. That might be something that's good to know. So anyways, till next time, see you later.